Yeah. Brother Harlem, Planet Remedy, the real Planet Remedy. Today, I want to share some information based according on doctors' conversation, dealing with something that has become so common that it's almost like it's overlooked, and that's high blood pressure. What's causing your high blood pressure? Why is it so hard to figure out what actually triggered it? Why do so many Americans have it from every background? Um, we just want to let this video run. So it's two different videos, but we want to let them run because I just definitely want y'all to have some enlightenment, and hopefully we'll find some options. Let's go.
The three most toxic medications for your heart. I'll talk about commonly prescribed ones, not the obvious chemotherapy agents, ones that millions take every day. I'm Dr. Evan Levine, board certified cardiologist. If you enjoy my videos, please like, share, and follow. Let's start with the ADHD meds, the meds like Ritalin and Adderall, that chronically increase the levels of your norepinephrine and slightly increase heart rate and blood pressure, and may have an effect on the heart as well. And this is a warning to all the parents out there and the docs who prescribe this for cash. You know, I don't accept insurance. To kids, not because a child had terrible ADHD and actually needs it, but because it helps them perform better on exams or in sports. Oh, Tim hit 360 in Little League this year, thanks to Adderall. Or Nancy's SAT score went up by 50 points. Frankly, it's borderline child abuse. Hey, the FDA had great concerns about this, but only looked to see what the risks were up to 2 years on these drugs. Bet Pharma was happy about this, and they found no risk. But these kids can be on this for decades. Well, in March of 2024, a study in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology noted, they found there was a 57% increase in cardiomyopathy. That's a deadly weakening of the heart, with 1 in 500 children getting this if they were on the medicine for 10 years. And that risk seems small, but in a 50,000 seat baseball stadium, that means 100 will get a disease that will definitely shorten their life. Would you take free tickets to a game if I told you 100 people sitting there would get a potentially deadly illness? Now, Adderall is the 17th most commonly prescribed drug in the US. And as you know, there are a bunch of these online sites that, well, hey, for the right amount of money, they'll prescribe it to you. It should be used in people who need it to function, not to have a higher batting average or SAT score. Number 2, antibiotics like Cipro and Levaquin, called fluoroquinolones, are linked to dangerous enlargements of the aorta. How so? Well, the FDA even issued a warning about this in light of this concern, saying that fluoroquinolones shouldn't be used in patients at increased risk unless no other treatment options are available. Now, these high-risk patients include those with peripheral artery disease, hypertension, or genetic conditions like Marfan syndrome and Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, as well as elderly individuals. The FDA failed to note that bicuspid aortic valve patients are also at very high risk. Now, these same antibiotics can cause life-threatening arrhythmias. That's right, there's fluoroquinolones like ciprofloxacin and Levaquin, for example, fatal arrhythmias, ventricular tachycardia, by prolonging the relaxation part of the electrical impulse, called prolonged QT interval. Now, this is especially in patients on other drugs that cause prolonged QT interval or low potassium. I actually was an expert witness on such a case where a patient died. The FDA says advise all patients to seek immediate medical treatment for any symptoms like palpitations. The FDA also says that patients should seek treatment if they have any chest pain or anything that might be thought of to be an aortic aneurysm. I don't know how the patients would know this, but that's what the FDA says. Number 3, NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. Over-the-counter or prescription drugs like Advil or Aleve or Celebrex or Meloxicam, they all work basically the same. They can all increase your blood pressure and cause retention of fluid or even renal failure in some, especially diabetics or people with hypertension or heart failure that use it often. Again, here goes the FDA. They issue a black box warning. You can see this for all NSAIDs, including Celebrex, regarding the increased risk of cardiovascular events. Now remember, millions use NSAIDs. Millions. Which gave me the reason to call them one of the most dangerous drugs for your heart on the market. That's right, you can just walk into any store and buy them. And hey, they help your pain. So you take them every day until something happens, like hypertension, renal trouble, heart failure, or even a heart attack. If you need to use them, use it only when needed. And make sure your physician knows about this. It's a drug. Maybe they need to monitor you. I hope that helps.
All right, y'all. Once again, welcome to Planet Remedy. I am Brother Harlem. I do this work from the grassroots perspective. I think that the Creator left us with enough of everything we need to repair damage, even being attacked through the food, which I think is a major cause of the most of our illnesses, especially with so-called common illnesses. So today, high blood pressure. If you dealing with high blood pressure, put a 1 in the comments. If you tired of high blood pressure, put a 5 in the comments. So it's 1 and 5. This is not normal. The way we getting it, the diagnosis, the treatments don't seem to always add up. I have dealt with people who have been on high blood pressure medicine for 20 years or better. I've met people who just started it and they just feel like they stuck forever. And it's like when you go to these buildings, you never find a way out. It's like you get softened into learning how to live with it forever. You only got one heart, but you might have 10 medicines for it. So today, we really want to be honest and find out. First off, let me ask you this. Who watching can explain what you just heard? Doctors can talk over your head with terminology, medical terminology. It just all sounds educated. It sounds above you at times, and it's hard to find out. And if you decide to try this to figure it out on your own, you're going to hear a lot of damage. You're going to hear a lot of not so truths. So today, by me doing what I've been doing for the last 7 years, this is my 3rd show with the actual Planet-Remedy, the real PlanetRemedy.com. So y'all can always contact me through the links that's going to be available. But for right now, I want to start this video over, and I just want to break this down from the way I perceive it. Let's go.
The 3 most toxic medications for your heart. I'll talk about commonly prescribed ones, not the obvious chemotherapy agents, ones that millions take every day.
So he gonna give you the commonly 3 deadliest medications, not including the ones like radiation or chemotherapy. So that's already gonna be a warning signal to anybody fighting cancer. If you fighting cancer and the cancer is now creating issues in your heart, well, according to this specific doctor, that could be a cause. So that's maybe something you want to look into and ask more questions about.
The 3 most toxic medications for your heart. I'll talk about commonly prescribed ones, not the obvious chemotherapy agents, ones that millions take every day. I'm Dr. Evan Levine, board-certified cardiologist. If you enjoy my videos, please like, share, and follow. Let's start with the ADHD meds, the meds like Ritalin and Adderall.
Parents, have you agreed to give Ritalin or Adderall to your children? Have you agreed or do you understand that giving your kid these medications could mess with their heart and create things like heart hypertension, high blood pressure, congestive heart failure somewhere down the road? Is the energy that your child possesses worth the risk? I'll let y'all answer that. Please share that in the comments.
That chronically increase the levels of your norepinephrine and slightly increase heart rate and blood pressure, and may have an effect on the heart as well. And this is a warning to all the parents out there and the docs who prescribe this for cash. You know, I don't accept insurance. To kids.
Wait a minute. Doctors out there that don't do insurance, that only do cash, I'm going to go ahead and call you a hustler. You should be locked up, just like the brothers on the corner.
There. And the docs who prescribe this for cash. You know, I don't accept insurance. To kids, not because a child had terrible ADHD and actually needs it.
Okay, we're going slow with this. A lot of kids, according to the doctor, a lot of kids are being prescribed these medications even though they don't have real bad ADHD. How can you have something but not have it bad? Either you got it or you don't. I would raise that question in my consciousness. We got to get to a spot in our mind where fear is not what you tending to. And you gon' listen, it's a lot of people dealing with high blood pressure problems. Nothing funny about it. The treatments, on the other hand, sometimes to me it seems hilarious because at the end of this video, you're going to hear him telling you people who take the naysayers, the everyday aspirins to prevent a heart attack, and you end up with one. Your health is your wealth. Your health is the guiding light. It's the guiding source to your well-being. If you take everything in a synthetic form to figure this out, I just feel like you were just you're wasting a lot of time and you creating a lot of damage that probably wasn't necessary. Only if you had information. That's what we lack in America. Even though the information is truly out there, we still lack it in America because we have too many doctor's visits and we take too many medicines.
But because it helps them perform better on exams or in sports. Oh, Tim hit 360 in Little League this year, thanks to Adderall. Or Nancy's SAT score went up by 50 points. Frankly, it's borderline child abuse.
Borderline child abuse. You playing better in sports and you getting higher SAT scores, but the risk is all the other things that you didn't sign up for. How could you be a parent in protection mode, not know these things, not look to find out about these things, think that it's really bringing a benefit home for your child? I would just ask y'all to, gather your thoughts, do some informational research that don't include clinical journals and testing outside of the grassroots. That's just my opinion, though.
Hey, the FDA had great concerns about this, but only looked to see what the risks were up to 2 years on these drugs.
All right, FDA, let's give them a round of applause. They covering 2 years. The FDA said we're going to cover these drugs and research for 2 years to see the effects of them. So if the first 2 years you notice nothing, and then year 3, the FDA going to say, oops, we only studied it for 2 years. But most people who taking blood pressure medicine or heart health medicine, the majority of them it's considered a lifetime. Like I said earlier, it's a lot of people doing this 7 days a week, 20 years in a row. To me, it's a lot of metabolic waste. It's a lot of invasive chemicals into the bloodstream and passing through the organs. I don't see how we can learn to take poison as medicine. Some of y'all have begun and learn how to trust it and cannot release that from your bottle. Some of y'all wake up every morning and do like this. At the same time every morning without ever checking your blood pressure. You just take it because you think this, you almost become a genie in the bottle to where you just think that you need to take this every day and you're going to have a happy, healthy life. But breaking the body down ain't something you can notice overnight all the time. But the consistency to deny yourself other options, the tradition, the routine, and believing that something is of you and good for you that has a lot of side effects. It's a side effect in just about every medication prescribed. So you dealing with your heart. The heart is what's sending blood in and out of each organ. So we got to be really mindful on respect of what the earth gave us. The earth gave us solutions through the Most High. And yet and still, we can go and hear wordplay, verbiage, terminology above your understanding or understanding. And now it sounds so good or so true or so scary, you just submit to it. And most people who start out on high blood pressure medicines that never find a way to release it, some, and especially men, what high blood pressure do to you in your bedroom, what high blood pressure do to your confidence, now you taking another supplement to fight the high blood pressure. So you just putting one chemical, one synthetic on top of another synthetic, and you lose value in the organic person you are, the natural person you are. These are just my opinions. Of course, I am not a doctor and I don't give medical advice. That's my true disclaimer. I am not a doctor and I don't give medical advice. I don't do medicine. All right? We just trying to build consciousness to where hopefully you will challenge yourself to think outside of that box that you done been trapped in, to believe that people like this on screen are the only ones who understand it. That would be really dangerous. But let me keep going because we got one more video we're going to do tonight.
Child abuse. Hey, the FDA had great concerns about this, but only looked to see what the risks were up to 2 years
2
on
years.
these drugs. Bet Pharma was happy about this, and they found no risk. But these kids can be on this for decades.
Okay, so for 2 years of study, they found no risk, but a person, a child, into an adulthood could be on it for decades. Maybe it's good for you. I can't tell you that. I don't know. But I definitely want to be honest and say delusional mindsets, lack of information, you're going to make a lot of bad decisions. And honestly, your heart does not deserve to be mistreated. Now, we all fall short on everything. It's something, really. But to have to deal with high blood pressure for the rest of your life without ever knowing the actual cause of it. Because remember, up to now, he has not said, this is what high blood pressure is, this is how you got it, and this is what you should be doing for it. And that's what most people that I deal with tell me. Man, I got high blood pressure. Well, I say, well, is it something with your magnesium deficiency? Is it in your kidneys? Is it in the strain of the artery? What is causing your high blood pressure so we can, and they don't know. And these people that's going to doctor visits on a regular basis and taking a lot of medication. So it's just hard for me to understand how you don't have enough energy to find out if you know who won or lost your favorite sport, or what, one of your favorite players averaging in the game, or you can remember a lasting image of a movie that you seen. How can you capture information that's useless to your outcome versus not learning what you could actually learn to actually change your direction? See, discipline is something that I have not yet found a way to sell. If I could put discipline in a glass mason jar, I will probably be very wealthy, but I have not figured out how can I give you discipline if you allow suffering as normal. See, you have to suffer to believe that this system is really in your favor, that these medicines are really working for you, if to believe that these doctors really care about you in a personal form. These are things that money can't buy you. Your insurance cannot swipe up for you. We have to be honest. And I just think that we headed down the road because high blood pressure, issues with the heart have become so normalized that it's like, oh yeah, it's all genetic. My grandma had it. My mama had it. Is it because the heart was in your grandma or your mother? Is the same one in you? Or is it because of a diet or eating or tradition? Right? Because a lot of people won't break their habits. I say, hey man, if you really want to get this going, we're going to have to do a lot of fasting. You're going to have to drink a lot of bitter teas. You're going to have a lot of new discipline. It's 7 things I want y'all to write down. And anybody who can put them all 7 of these in the comments, I will send you a gift. And if I recognize you done it, I'm going to reach out to you through the comments. And from there, we'll go off and chat on through Gmail or something like that, where I will send you something to benefit you for actually paying attention. So 7 things that I need y'all to learn to use to your benefit: a fork, a spoon, a knife, a bowl, a plate, a shopping cart, and the drive-through. 7 utensils, 7 things rather, you can use to make discipline and principles more available to your outcome. So see, the spoon, the knife, the fork, that's what you're going to use to put this into your mouth. The grocery cart going to be used to buy what you put in your mouth. The drive-through going to be used for you to eat and think that you putting something neutral or natural into you to help you sustain yourself. But it's one chemical on top of another chemical on top of another chemical. Even in plants or vegetables and fruits, a lot of the fruits we consume in America becoming seedless. And just while I'm thinking about it, if a grape had any true benefits, and the grape is now a raisin, if the raisin don't have a seed, the grape have one that it dried up from. So basically I'm saying, how can a raisin be beneficial that's seedless, but it came from a grape with seeds in it, the real grape? See, all this information is really sitting in front of us, but we have been so deceived or perception of our true reality that our healing coming in orange bottles with white tops. And it say take 2 times a day or something similar. And we just putting so much poison, because that's what these chemicals truly are to your natural immune system, your defense system. We're putting so much poison into our body that we actually believe that this is sustaining our life. And the moment you believe that medicine is the purpose of why you have not yet came to your demise, is almost like ignoring the Creator, because the Creator did not give us medicine. Mankind did. Scientists did. Research did. Trials did. marketing did, advertising did. So medicines are things only human beings can take or give to other things outside of a human. So if you giving your dog or your cat or whatever a pill, they wouldn't eat that in the wild on their own because they wouldn't know that it even existed. So we dealing with a problem in America where consciousness is the main illness. Discipline is the main illness. If I told you you could go 30 days just eating fruits and water and repair a lot of issues in your body, it would probably, I can't go no 30 days without eating. But if I said, man, listen, if you want to be a millionaire, in 30 days, stop doing this, this, and this. Don't touch it. You're going to be monitored for the whole 30 days. As long as you don't do this, you get a whole $1 million. And guess what? A lot of people could do it with no problem. When you lack discipline to help yourself, you know you in a position to hurt yourself. Let this doctor continue. I'm going to bring it back because I will continue to stop and start, but I do want to bring it back so that y'all don't lose track on what the doctor's saying.
The 3 most toxic medications for your heart. I'll talk about commonly prescribed ones, not the obvious chemotherapy agents, ones that millions take every day. I'm Dr. Evan Levine, board-certified cardiologist. If you enjoy my videos, please like, share, and follow. Let's start with the ADHD meds, the meds like Ritalin and Adderall, that chronically increase the levels of your norepinephrine and slightly increase heart rate and blood pressure. And may have.
What is all of this? When you go to your doctor, he say your neuroepinephrines, what would you learn if you dealt with an herbalist with some burdock root saying, yeah, man, this going to clean your neuroepinephrines? You going to say, oh, yeah, it's got to work. He said a big word. See, truthfully understand your health, you don't need all this verbiage and terminology, man. That's just my personal opinion, but I don't think you truly got to have all these. Who creating these words? What diagram came with the first human that said this is a neuroepinephrine? See, man, we being duped. A lot of people, America allows you to self-destruct, self-delete. You get to decide your way out of this. Okay? You can decide your way out of this. You can decide your way out through just being alcoholic and just killing and burning the liver and the kidneys. You can decide to take all the prescription and medications that's only going to help you degenerate. You can decide to be a thug or a gangster and get caught slipping. You can decide for yourself. But if you love yourself, if you love the people that love you or the people that you know depend on you to be at your optimal, you will have to make different decisions. You got to ride past that restaurant. Your favorite restaurant, do some research on who actually own it. So when you going to Chipotle, do you think you buying it from just genuine Latinos? Or is Chipotle so franchised and so commercialized that you're not eating just real food? Because the majority of the food coming into our restaurants coming from a handful of deliveries. You know, you got different food groups. You know, you got U.S. food, Cisco systems. This food coming from hubs, man. This food being shipped out and processed and then dropped off at your favorite restaurant. A lot of restaurants done got so desperate. Well, okay, you don't think you can afford to come sit down in the restaurant? You can buy the sauce at your local grocery. You can go to some grocery stores and find the Chick-fil-A sauce. You can go and find the Taco Bell sauce. And you never have to enter Taco Bell. Now you say, man, I'm eating Taco Bell sauce, but I'm eating it in a healthier version. See, this system done got us so tied down that we don't even, some of us done gave up on the fight. And some people don't even know you at war. You at war of your mind. Your mind is going to be at war over your body. Because if you trick your mind will trick your body. But we can go listen to a doctor. use words that we cannot spell or even understand the first time we hear it. Your doctor don't got all day to spend with you. I do. I'm on live. I'm doing this thing right here. So y'all gotta do things that's simple to keep an algorithm in growth. Subscribe to the channel, like, and share. We're gonna go through plenty of common everyday things on this channel. And I'm gonna offer you some form of solution that you could use or try and see if you have the discipline to actually overcome the challenges that you don't create and put yourself into. So if you're dealing with high blood pressure, is it something that you didn't do wrong? Who else can you blame for your situation as an adult? Or as you see your kids suffering with some of these illnesses, do you blame it on them just being a child and this is bad to happen? Do you blame your creator for the situations that you live through? Is it your fault or is it the creator's fault for putting this on you? Did God put you in high blood pressure mode to test your faith or your will? I cannot answer those questions for you, but I hope you will be honest enough to even ask yourself this question. Because a lot of our situations seem like, to me, a lot of these situations, it just seemed like this things that we chose to not figure out, man. You living in the age of information. A lot of the information that I possess was at once upon a time free to learn. Now it's being sold back to you. So we got to be careful. If somebody doing this for a purpose, we gonna struggle. We gonna always be broke, but we always gonna have energy, passion, and love for you to help yourself. I don't challenge you. I challenge you to challenge yourself. But right now you listen to a doctor, a board certified doctor. Let's get it.
The 3 most toxic medications for your heart. I'll talk about commonly prescribed ones, not the obvious chemotherapy agents.
Obvious chemotherapy agents. He gonna talk about the more commonly prescribed medications. I never knew Adderall and Ritalin was commonly prescribed. I never needed it.
Ones that millions take every day. I'm Dr. Evan Levine, board certified cardiologist. If you enjoy my videos, please like, share, and follow. Let's start with the ADHD meds, the meds like Ritalin and Adderall that chronically increase the levels of your norepinephrine and slightly increase heart rate and blood pressure, and may have an effect on the heart as well. And this is a warning to all the parents out there and the docs who prescribe this for cash.
Doctors prescribing medications for cash. I got to do it. Doctors prescribing medication, only cash. And cash is being eliminated every day of the week. New laws being signed where you're going to just have a different way of spending money. I'm just going to say that. But doctors that's doing this only for cash, how fast are they being rated? How much money do they make before they get caught? If you searching for something online that you only can pay for in cash, how do you get it? You got to travel to the actual physical source. Put your money in the envelope and let the postman take it off. Let it go through go back to the warehouse and it gets sorted out. Let's see how fast you get it paid for. Sending cash is dangerous through the mail. Buying something with cash from a doctor seems really sketchy. Would you want to go to your doctor and say, nah, man, I don't do debit, credit, or cash app. I only take cash. Would you not want to just think to yourself, this might be a little bit sketchy, but I'll let y'all decide.
You know, I don't accept insurance to kids, not because a child had terrible ADHD and actually needs it, but because it helps them perform better on exams or in sports.
So you might be able to get your child on a ADHD drug just so he could be a better baseball player, basketball player, or get into college, get accepted through a higher SAT score. Okay, is that not sacrifice? Is that not begging for a way in to get one foot in the door? That would be that's sacrificial to me. I just don't see how I'm a parent. I have two beautiful children. I just don't see how I could say, you know what? That's what he need. This gonna get him that scholarship. Let me take a risk on his heart health. Let me sacrifice his heart health, and he might get the scholarship through the SAT or maybe through slamming the ball a little harder. I don't know how y'all could do this, man. Less is more sometimes. This system bigger than the medical system. We can't just point the fingers at the FDA. This marketing strategy, these consumer ads that you watch through the highlight of the day, the game that you watching, you as a man, you watching all these ED pills. You see, like, man, when I go on YouTube, I sign up as a male because I am one. I get I get so much advertisement on things, and like it's almost like the more you see it, the more it becomes true. Unless you stand unless you fighting and standing on purpose. Like, man, I'm tired of seeing this. You not about to change my mind. Like, man, I done seen this so much, it must be working because they spend a lot of money in promoting it. You get entertainers, actors, celebrity stars, rap. You get a lot of people promoting products to you that they would not use. So you can get it from a social media world. You can get it from the doctor's office. And you get trapped. You getting trapped because you don't know the difference between real and fake at this point in time. And the moment you lose real and fake, you're going to take your medicine on time, even without checking your blood pressure. You're going to do it because you're so afraid. You're so afraid. And nobody has truthfully taught you death past sin, a body in a casket, a body being lowered into the ground, or something similar to that nature. So we losing time. We wasting good energy. You being harvested. We being forced to go into a world that truly don't exist for your benefit. It's a profit. Your heart health is a profit to millions of people. A lot, I ain't gonna say millions of people, but your heart health is profitable in the millions to some because they done tricked you out of seeing for yourself.
Oh, Tim hit 360 in Little League this year, thanks to Adderall. Or Nancy's SAT score went up by 50 points. Frankly, it's borderline child abuse. Hey, the FDA had great concerns about this.
Okay, FDA, great concerns about this. Now we're going to find out how much concern they had.
But only look to see what the risks were up to 2 years.
They only cared to see what the risk was for the first 2 years. Maybe they knew that, yeah, if we do 2 years, it's soundproof. Maybe one person here, one person there, but after 2 years, if it ain't hurt you, it won't hurt you. Okay, I'm hitting the lab button because this sit down comedy tonight.
On these drugs. Bet Pharma was happy about this. And they found no risk. But these kids can be on this for decades.
For decades. Mass pop plops. The degeneration of a nation, all petroleum based. The cash cow, the synthetic petroleum based medicines can terraform you from being a natural human, a natural person, into other things. And we done been desensitized and denormalized to these lower standards, these lower frequencies, these lower vibrations. I meet people all the time. They taking a lot of medications for one situation. A lot of medications for one situation. And if you say, hey man, you could try this and just give this up at some point, I got to talk to my doctor first. Your doctor don't think the way I think. Your doctor wouldn't prescribe you the things that I would sell you. You get lab work and you keep going back getting a bad diagnosis. Oh, well, we see it's going up. We're going to have to increase it. And we falling for these things because you have not tried any other option. The lack of you trying other alternative options is part of your problem. Your health is really your health is a reflection of your consciousness. If only the creator can change it, if only the doctor can fix it, you have no responsibility to your outcome. We got to get real, man.
Well, in March of 2024, a study in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology.
Okay, now let's think about this. People who can continuously give you reports from journals and clinical trials, had they gave you anything other than that? Have they offered you anything other than the studies or the scientific evidence? Why can't they help you out better? Why can't they give you the same things that I'm going to try to share with you? Why not?
Noted. They found there was a 57% increase in cardiomyopathy. That's a deadly weakening of the heart, with 1 in 500 children getting this if they were on the medicine for 10 years.
10 years. Could you, as a parent, could you imagine keeping your child on the medicine for 10 years without figuring out anything else? I could not do it. I'm not knocking parents who've done it or parents who are trying to do it. I'm just asking y'all, could you really be comfortable allowing your kid to take a chemical for 10 years? So your child is a blessing. It's a legacy. It's love. How could you do this and be thinking that this is really in your child's favor? Now, you doing it out of fear and sacrifice of losing. But I got to ask you to question yourself. I couldn't do it as a parent without at least trying something else. I don't see 10 years as a benefit in the long run. And this basically what this doctor's saying right now. The benefits in the long on the front end, when you're doing bad things, it seems like you're getting away with it. You could be a hustler who made a lot of money for years, and eventually you get caught. You could be a very bad person who thought they got away with it, and eventually you get exposed. So treat yourself, treat those under your umbrella of protection with due diligence.
And that risk seems small, but in a 50,000-seat baseball stadium, that means 100 will get a disease that will definitely shorten their life. Would you take free tickets to a game if I told you 100 people sitting there would get a potentially deadly illness? Now, Adderall is the 17th most commonly prescribed drug in the U.S. And as you know, there are a bunch of these online sites that, well, hey, for the right amount of money, they'll prescribe it to you. It should be used in people who need it to function.
Doctor, who needs Adderall to function? If Adderall and Ritalin is that bad, who needs it? Who needs it to function? I'm sure you can find somebody that needs to calm down, but is this the only way to do it? I wonder.
Not to have a higher batting average or SAT score. Number 2, antibiotics like Cipro and Levaquin, called fluoroquinolones.
I just heard them say fluoroquinolones, but what the hell is this? Another antibiotic with long names, Latin style names, long names. You being casted through the spells being casted because these are not normal everyday people words. And why should you want to deal with a physician who speaks in a verbiage that you don't recognize? I would rather speak to somebody to speak my language, and I ain't talking English. I would want to speak with people who speak my language so that I can definitely understand what's being said, because these words, this verbiage, this medical terminology, this sorcery, in my opinion. This is wizardry, right? Let's listen to that. I mean, look, man, I ain't crazy. I just appear to be.
Are linked to dangerous enlargements of the aorta. How so? Well, the FDA even issued a warning about this in light of this concern, saying that fluoroquinolones shouldn't be used in patients at increased risk unless no other treatment options are available. Now, these high-risk patients include those with peripheral artery disease, hypertension, or genetic conditions like Marfan syndrome and Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, as well as elderly individuals. The FDA failed to note that bicuspid aortic valve patients are also at very high risk. Now, these same antibiotics can cause life-threatening arrhythmias. That's right, there's fluoroquinolones like ciprofloxacin and Levaquin, for example, fatal arrhythmias, ventricular tachycardia, by prolonging the relaxation part of the electrical impulse called prolonged QT interval. Now, this is especially in patients on other drugs that cause prolonged QT interval or low potassium. I actually was an expert witness on such a case where a patient died. The FDA says advise all patients to seek immediate medical treatment for any symptoms like palpitations. The FDA also says that patients should seek treatment if they have any chest pain or anything that might be thought of to be an aortic aneurysm. I don't know how the patients would know this.
Me either, doctor. How could I be sitting in my chair or lifting weights and say, man, this is an aneurysm? Did y'all hear y'all foreign language studies for the day? I'm going to bring it back a little bit. These doctors, look, man, friends and family members that I know that went down this medical career path, and they speak the same way, and some of them have the same issues and can't solve them. Or their parents may have them and they can't help them because they going to be talking about fluoroquinolones or whatever he said. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do we figure this out listening to this as information of value? This is a part of losing your consciousness. How is this information of value when you cannot understand what's being spoken? So you done created a belief or a trust or a faith in something you have no information or understanding of from somebody who cannot talk to you in a different language. And we ain't talking the English language. We talking the language of comprehension. You can't understand most of this stuff because I can't understand most of this stuff, but I have took the time to research some of this stuff, and it all ends up being a bunch of blah, 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 blah. You got mucus, you got acid overload, you got a corrupted digestive system, your colon swollen, your colon inflamed, your colon backed up, and waste is not being able to be removed from the body fast enough, because as soon as you can remove some of the waste, you're right back in the damn drive-through putting more waste back in. Let him teach you, though. I don't know nothing. I am not a medical doctor. Thank God.
Insights that, well, hey, for the right amount of money, they'll prescribe it to you. It should be used in people who need it to function.
Who need it, doctor? Who need this medicine to function? The sick and shut in that's praying to Jesus? Who needs this medicine to function? The lone wolf planning something really bad? Does he the one that need it? Or is it because he owned it that he became a lone wolf and only can see bad things in the future? Is he the one who continuously has dreams, nightmares, and bad visions of hurting other people because he is continuously being hurt because he lacks conversation or consciousness with the providers who's supposed to be in his care, the providers who's supposed to be in his favor. These questions y'all can answer. Battle each other in my comment section. If you come for me, I'm going to highlight you and shout you out. And I'm fine with it. But just do it with the due respect in case my kid's watching. Let's go.
To have a higher batting average or SAT score. Number 2, antibiotics like Cipro and Levaquin, called fluoroquinolones, are linked to dangerous enlargements of the aorta.
Okay, we're getting ready to get our medical terminology on for the day. So right here, we're about to go through some medical terminology, which I will not even attempt to break down. You can do it in your own time.
How so? Well, the FDA even issued a warning about this in light of this concern, saying that fluoroquinolones shouldn't be used in patients at increased risk unless no other treatment options are available.
Now, this is another question I want to ask. When a doctor tells you, or asks you rather, are you allergic to this medication? And you say, well, doctor, I never had it. I'm just wondering, if you never had it, how you know how it's going to work against you? A doctor can't explain that to you by looking in your eyes and asking you a question. Man, listen. If your mind is chained to the system tonight, you got to find you some tools to break free. If I could sell you consciousness, I will have it all. I'm helping you arrive to a state of challenge so you can begin the process of recovery. Your recovery is not coming with these overblown words and verbiage. This is not going to help us, but let us finish our lesson for today.
Now, these high-risk patients include those with peripheral artery disease, hypertension, or genetic conditions like Marfan syndrome and Ehlers-Danlos syndrome.
Okay, now who know what that is? Because I don't. These syndromes, they got a lot of names, but it's the same problem. You got too much acid and too much mucus buildup, in my personal opinion. Again, I am not a medical doctor and I do not give medical advice. Let's keep rolling.
As well as elderly individuals. The FDA failed to note that bicuspid aortic valve patients are also at very high risk. Now, these same antibiotics can cause life-threatening arrhythmias.
Okay, now antibiotics is supposed to get rid of bad bacteria, but from what I heard, antibiotics go after all bacteria, and you need good bacteria. You don't need yogurt. You don't need cultured bacteria. You need normal body-producing bacteria. And when you take antibiotics to kill an infection, does killing the infection also create the problems? According to what he is speaking on right now, I think that's what he's trying to say, but I'm just paraphrasing in my own words. I'm not a medical doctor.
Valve patients are also at very high risk. Now, these same antibiotics can cause life-threatening arrhythmias. That's right, there's fluoroquinolones like ciprofloxacin and Levaquin, for example. Fatal arrhythmias, ventricular tachycardia, by prolonging the relaxation part of the electrical impulse.
Okay, you heard that. Your electrical impulse, if that ain't proof that you are alkaline being and that electricity does flow through you, I'll let him tell you again, but we are electrical, especially my kind. I know we got some electricity running through our vein and our artery, but let him speak for himself. But just imagine you taking something to get rid of an infection, and at the same time you getting rid of an infection, you also creating scientific names to say that your heart is now being going into a state of failure. This is seriously sad.
And Levaquin, for example, fatal arrhythmias, ventricular tachycardia, by prolonging the relaxation part of the electrical impulse called prolonged QT interval. Now, this is especially in patients or on other drugs that cause prolonged QT interval or low potassium. I actually was an expert witness on such a case where a patient died.
Okay, now this is expert. Expert, what have you created for us not to go the route that you trained on? I'm just curious to know.
The FDA says advise all patients to seek immediate medical treatment for any symptoms like palpitations. The FDA also says that patients should seek treatment if they have any chest pain or anything that might be thought of to be an aortic aneurysm. I don't know how the patients would know this.
Me either. Because if you having an aneurysm, you ain't gonna even know you exist in the world at that moment, more than likely. So, has he linked aneurysms to medicine? Have we just discovered that some of these aneurysms that people are experiencing, is it linked to medicine? Are the aneurysms linked to the prescriptions? Whether it's from the ADHD or the bacteria, not bacterial, but antibiotics, are we linking something right before our eyes? I'm bringing it back right here. Let's go.
I actually was an expert witness on such a case where a patient died. The FDA says advise all patients to seek immediate medical treatment for any symptoms like palpitations. The FDA also says that patients should seek treatment if they have any chest pain or anything that might be thought of to be an aortic aneurysm. I don't know how the patients would know this, but that's what the FDA says.
All right, big brother FDA. You a bad big brother. You not protecting your own brothers, your own people. This is sad. The FDA got too many jobs. FDA. Let's do a quick breakdown on it. Food, Drug Administration. Now for my tin hat Kufi wearers. Does FDA Food, Drug, and Administration mean I will administer the drugs through the food? Is that what's really being said? This Planet Remedy. I'm Brother Harlem.
Number 3, NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. Over-the-counter or prescription drugs like Advil or Aleve or Celebrex or Meloxicam, they all work basically the same. They can all increase your blood pressure and cause retention of fluid or even renal failure.
Advil. Is Advil almost saying evil? Lad button. High blood pressure. Testosterone killer. Is Advils, Tylenols, and all of these NSAIDs, and I said NSAID, NSAID, NSAIDs, non-steroidal, anti-inflammatory drugs. So a drug that creates inflammation is anti-inflammatory? Have we not yet discovered this? We shooting it out to the Dr. Levine. Thank you, doctor, for being an honest doctor, coming on camera and giving us a real truth. I definitely want to give you credit for that, and I'm not here to bash you in no form because I respect the education you have to tell us things that we may have not known, even though the majority of us cannot understand it. The few of us who can understand it or the few of us that's willing to research it word for word, letter for letter, I think you're giving us an opportunity to escape this system. Because what he doing could be self-exposure if this not part of an agenda, an algorithm agenda. I don't know. But I definitely want to say I appreciate what he's saying, and let's continue.
But that's what the FDA says. Number 3, NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, over-the-counter or prescription drugs like Advil or Aleve or Celebrex or Meloxicam. They all work basically the same. They can all increase your blood pressure and cause retention of fluid or even renal failure.
Do anybody know what renal failure is? Renal failure. Don't that have a lot to do with the kidneys? So are we connecting that your high blood pressure might not be your heart, but it might be something going on in the kidneys? How we going to figure this out? We got to connect the dots. Renal failure is also known as dialysis. So if we dealing with heart failure, are we treating the heart and not the actual root cause of the high blood pressure? I think he connected it. We just listening and connecting dots like a kid at a restaurant before the food gets served. Give them a crayon and just give them a piece of paper with dots, say trace it out and make a whole line. I think we lining up something right now, but I'm gonna allow y'all to help me understand because I am not a doctor.
Anti-inflammatory drugs, over-the-counter or prescription drugs like Advil or Aleve or Celebrex or Meloxicam. They all work basically the same. They can all increase your blood pressure and cause retention of fluid or even renal failure. Some, especially diabetics or people with hypertension or heart failure that use it often.
Now, ain't these common illnesses in America? Diabetic issues, diabetics, high blood pressure, heart hypertension, these common things. If this thing is this common and this many physicians, hospitals, urgent cares, pharmacies prescribing the medication to stop it, or they just prolonging it by making it decay you slower. I'm confused because I don't know. I have to say that on camera. But if y'all want to find out who I am and how I move, it's planet-remedy.com. I am available for consultations, conversations, leadership, motivations. I do whatever I can for you to challenge your consciousness. So if you talk to me on a one-on-one, I'm probably going to beat on your brain and you might be a little bit mad on the front end. But once I help you plant the seed of growth and you begin to grow, you will learn to love and appreciate me. Again, let the doctor continue.
Again, here goes the FDA. They issue a black box warning. You can see this for.
Now, who else has a black box warning? An airplane. That black box means more on a crash than it does on a takeoff. That led with a successful landing. A black box warning. So the FDA also a part of aviation. Let's go.
All NSAIDs, including Celebrex, regarding the increased risk of cardiovascular events.
So something that's supposed to help you can create a situation that you are already fighting against. Have you ever seen a Celebrex commercial? Everybody on the Celebrex commercial looks satisfied and happy. They look satisfied and happy with what they got going on because this new medicine that they were taking has helped them, only to find out the FDA only got 2 years of research and you might be on it for a decade or longer. You can't blame the FDA at this point in time. FDA, I am not going to unlock you because I have no trust or faith in you to a point where if I decide to travel the road that you recommend, It's not your fault. It's going to be mine because I'm consciously aware of what I'm getting myself into. But for the millions of Americans who don't think or see like me, I ask the Most High that you trust and believe in, that he allow or she allows you to become, that you will awaken your consciousness to at least watching this video in truth, hitting the share button, subscribe most definitely, hit the like button. I'm fighting for everything that I do, so it's ways for you to donate to the channel. It's ways that you could donate to the campaign. All right, so y'all can definitely check them out. But I'm not finished. But I'm asking y'all for support throughout the video. Peace and blessings. Peace and power.
Now remember, millions use NSAIDs. Millions. Which gave me the reason to call them one of the most dangerous drugs for your heart on the market.
That's crazy. One of the most dangerous drugs on the market. You don't even need a prescription. You just need to have money to buy it. Walk into the pharmacy, walk into the big box stores. Oh, there it goes right there. It's on sale. Get 2 of them. And you can just buy one of the most dangerous drugs on the market according to this doctor on screen. You can go in and buy one of the most dangerous drugs on the market. No prescription necessary. No test need to be ran. You can just walk in and buy it. Just walk in and buy it. You may have been advised to take 1 a day to keep a heart attack away. And you can just go right in and buy it. No insurance necessary. It's cost effective for you just to pull out your little card or unwrinkle them few dollars in your pocket, front pocket, just straighten it out and hand it to the cashier if you showing respect. This is crazy. How did we get to a situation if mankind is at the top of the food chain? Why doesn't nobody else go looking for this but us? Insects, animals, you will have to feed it to them to give it to them. It don't exist in their reality. It only exists in human beings. We've been tricked out of ourselves on a regular basis. It's normalized. It's accepted as normal. We beating ourselves up so bad. Dangerous for your heart, but heart healthy. You'll get afraid to find out your blood pressure ain't as dangerous as it is. It's already in the cookie cut format, 120/80. Man, woman, or child, tall, short, thick, or skinny. I know I'm crazy, but I know you not. Everybody listen to me, you wise. You are the chosen one to turn your situation into a benefit. You went through the struggle. You lack the information. Now it's being accessed. You can fix your own problem without pausing. Pausing cannot be the only option or the only way to do it. It was the pauses that put you in this situation. It was administered through the food. This crazy. This is crazy to me. I know. Listen, man, I keep repeating myself over and over. If you get an animal, if you get you a dog, a new puppy right now, you can't say, dog, don't pee on this carpet again, and just tell them one time, and from that day forward, the dog just look at you and scratch the door and say, I want to go outside. Nope. You got to teach them. You got to keep repeating it. You got to keep being there to teach them, show them. And that's what I plan to do, so I definitely need y'all support in this travel.
That's right. You can just walk into any store and buy them. And hey, they help your pain. So you take them every day until something happens.
You can take them. I'm going to tell you, man. If you got out the blue, the can of rotten tooth, and that pain just finally catch you one night, and it hurts so bad, like, God, okay, you just want to go crazy. You might take that and they said and it alleviate it. But the moment you do it every day, and instead of getting rid of the actual decay in your gum, you're going to destroy yourself. One here, one there. 2 of them a year. And they ain't an actual number. But those who start a regimen, I do it every day. It helped me. I never had this unless I don't do this. What if you took time to do something else? What if you took that same energy and really worked on cleaning your blood, your organs, your digest? What if you done these type of things? I'm almost sure that you could be in a different position and feel better, age better, because the longer you take these chemicals, the quicker you gonna age out. You get to pick the way you leave here. It's your choice. It's not always fate on the way life end for you. A lot of it's choice and decisions. A lot of us don't understand that, but a lot of it is choice and decisions. So again, what Dr. On Screen doing, it make a lot of sense if y'all got the time to study what you hear. This is pure information. Information. This pure information. 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 This is information. I mean, like the place set up to run. And I'm not saying he going with or against what you believe in. All I'm simply saying is this is information. He speak in a language that most cannot understand. And those who do understand know what game is being operated, if it's a game at all. But I'm giving them credit for at least being on camera with it. Right? Because right now we're seeing a lot of professional or educated physicians and doctors telling us stuff, and we're like, hold on, you still doing the job that you explaining is bad? You still doing it? I don't know if he on a green screen or not, but he is in front of a hospital. He got the stethoscope around his neck and the white lab coat. So we don't know if this is a real one or not. I hope you are real, doctor. And just looking at you, just by societal norms, I'm going to say he a true doctor. Tell me I'm lying. Yeah, he got on glasses. He know what he talking about. He using words, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you get this hypnosis of non-reality moments in time. He giving up some game, though. You definitely giving up some game, whether it's a true doctor or not. What he's speaking still got to be truthful enough for y'all to do something about it. If I was dealing with high blood pressure, I'm like, man, everything he telling me is what they prescribing me. And he's telling me all these different things don't really help and they dangerous for me. So why would I continuously go that route? Or why wouldn't I meet the person who could really show me a way around it without going through it this form? I don't trust them, and I can't let go of my emotions or my habits. A lot of people can't heal themselves because they cannot. It's people say, I'm going to drink my soda even though I got diabetes. I'm still going to drink my soda. I can afford to drink this black Pepsi. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's people who will do that. It's people that's doing it. And then they end up on the dialysis machine. And now, I would not ever drink another Pepsi. They ain't no good for you. But when you told them before they got there, they done it anyway. See, the torches of freedom. These freedoms that you think you got, you do. You do have them. You can decide to choose your way out. It's all on you. I don't care what God or creator you trust and pray to. I don't care who you love. I don't care who love you. I don't care what doctor you go to. If you don't make the decisions to sustain yourself, everything else is sacrificial to what they got in you. You will be willing to sacrifice yourself on dependencies that others need from you. And that's very selfish. That's a very selfish way to move in this world. Selfish people will not help themselves. Selfish people only want to be helped. So if you only want to be helped by what your doctor told you, and you don't know that this medical system, this health care system, or this sick care system ain't designed for you to ever escape it, you selfish in my opinion. And I ain't trying to beat up on you. But you could do things. It won't take most people but 30 days to actually see a difference in their direction. You can see it earlier than that in some cases, depending on. But 30 days, 1 month. Do the month of the birthday you born on, the born date you born on. If you born in July, the month of July, that should be the month that you go the whole entire month. And these are some ideas. I'm not a doctor, and I don't recommend or suggest. But if you went 30 days the month you was born in, so if you born in July, sea moss gel, true rock grown sea moss gel, every day. In 30 days, you probably could go through at least 4 different teas, whether it's a blood pathogen or a specific organ in the body. And I'll say, if you're going to start with any herbal teas and you disciplined enough, start with your colon first, all right? Cleanse the colon, because if you don't create a pathway of elimination, you can detox any organ in your body and never get to it. You could detox these organs, but that organ could release the waste, but it can't get out the body, and it's just going to sit somewhere else. So I would say, your sea moss gel, clean water, no distilled waters, no purified waters, no tap waters. If you got access to a well or a natural spring, drink it. Create you some good okra water, drink you some true coconut water for your electrolytes, and you can hydrate yourself to help the waste start to move. Once the waste begins to move and actually finds an exit route, you could actually begin a healing process, a restoration process that you created through decisions. Not science, not medicine, not drugs. You could do it. Now, of course, you're going to need some leadership sometime or information, and that's when you can tap into the Brother Harlem with the Planet Remedy. I got you. I got enough time to deal with everybody that call me right now. So catch me while I'm well met. That would be good advice for anybody listening. But what we done seen tonight, this is an amazing story. I'm probably going to do a part 2. Because I did have another video that I'm probably not going to run tonight, because I done gave you a lot of information, and I don't want to overspeak myself right now and things like that. But it's options that you do have. Now, if you done my personal detox, I do 8-day detoxes at a time. And that's just for round 1. And we could round out 1, 2, 3 rounds, what we need depending on your situation. Round 1, 16 ounces, a 16-ounce jar of my sea moss gel and my colon health tea. So for the next 8 days, you're eating sea moss, you're drinking your tea, you're drinking plenty of water, spring water, okra water, coconut water. And every time you mentally starving, because your digestive system could take the break, every time you mentally starving, that restaurant smell good you just drove past, that commercial on your phone or on TV that your favorite restaurant got a deal going on, people in the house eating a food that you always eat with them. 8 days, a drop in the bucket, 8 days. It's enough for you to start a discipline. because in 8 days, you will feel so different. Now, the tea going to be very nasty to your taste buds. It's not a sweet tea. But in 8 days, drinking the cold and health tea that I got online, 8 days of a sea moss gel, 8 days of water and fruits, and nothing else. I might give you one vegetable. You can do your little steamed collard greens or something. But I'll ask you to eat fruits that's true with seeds in them. Real fruits with real seeds. So spend a little money on it. And in 8 days, you can feel so different. Inflammation changes, blood pressure changes, blood sugar changes. You could feel so different that 8 days, like, it ain't enough. I need more because I want to get to a different place in myself. And stop the dependency on believing that this system is designed to help you get free from it. That's delusion all by itself. All right? So on Planet Remedy, I want to try to share information and encourage you the same way I do my people in public. When I'm out at the marketplace, when I'm talking to you one-on-ones, I give you good information. So if you want consultations, you can fill the house or whoever you got and whatever they dealing with, you can definitely reach out to me like that. I'm about to start putting my products up where you can create these teas in dry form so we can get a better price on the shipping and the boxing. I also sell them already made to go. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not sure where to start at, I would ask you to reach out to me through my website. Hit me up, contact me, schedule you a consultation so we can one-on-one and you can TMI me with no, not too much, no TMI. Because I'm going to ask you certain things that's going to help you make the right decision. And again, I'm not a doctor of no choice. I'm not a medical doctor, so I don't give medical responses. I don't talk verbiage of medical people. I'm not a healer. I'm just somebody who's going to help you raise your awareness or your consciousness to where you can make decisions that may be 1,000 times more beneficial, less metabolic waste going in, more waste coming out. These are all things that only you could do for yourself. But I am Brother Harlem. This is Planet Remedy. My favorite 2 words to everybody that I meet for the first time is peace and power. Hold yourself accordingly.